Welcome back to What Year Is It Anyway? This is Pastor D. I'm Justin. We're both pastors here at Werribee Baptist Church, and we are discussing re-entry. The re-entry back into life, the big comeback that's happening at the moment, right? And so we've discussed a couple of the things that have been difficult about it, but I wondered if you'd been nervous at all in these last few weeks with your own re-entry into the public sphere. Has there been anything that's sort of triggered for you?
Yeah, well, I drove into the city to do some shopping at Costco.
Oh yeah. Oh.
And coming
You just went big. You went big straight away.
It was so crowded and it was so chaotic because it's like when the lockdown lifted to extend our, accessibility.
Yeah.
Everybody was out, and it was like, oh my word, it was just so crowded and so chaotic, and it wasn't because we've gone from nothing to warp speed, and it was really unsettling. And even the drive home, the roads had changed, and it's like people have forgotten how to drive, and it just so made this feeling of unsafeness.
Right, yeah. And safety has been one of those, that word has been hammered and hammered and hammered, hasn't it? And I feel like actually something that potentially I wasn't really even thinking of most days of the week. I'm not a germaphobe. I didn't walk around thinking, have you cleaned your hands or not? In fact, statistics, I remember watching a TED talk that 1 in 5 of us don't wash our hands after going to the bathroom. There's a little tidbit for you. We certainly should now. But it's something that it's overtaken my thought, and there's probably a truth to say my brain has been rewired somewhat, yeah?
Yeah, and because it's been rewired in solitude to some degree, because, where we've been used to going to our workplaces and to school and in our social circles or out to dinner or, hanging out with family, which we haven't even really been allowed to do. Then all of a sudden we're expected to go into that without missing a beat, and it feels a little bit, we've forgotten how. I wouldn't say that we've forgotten how.
There's certainly a sense of, feels like there's a few more social faux pas at the moment. There's a few more ways to mess up the adult conversation.
Do we shake, not shake, hug, not hug, elbows? I don't even know anymore.
Right, and I'm, as you know, I'm a natural hugger, and so, but I, even with my own family, felt you sort of have that little eye glance where you give me permission for the handshake or the hug, and so some of those things are tremendously disquieting for us.
Because we don't know.
So what do we do, Dee? Fix it, Dee.
Ask. It doesn't hurt to ask. It's like, hug or not hug, and I don't know what the rules are, so maybe we should look at the rules, but the reality is to talk about it. To talk about it with one another. And I was just hearing from somebody recently that said that they're nervous about having to talk about it because they're tired of talking about it, and they've missed these big gaps of the normal day-to-day chit-chat and stuff like that. And so you launch back in, and we have all this catching up to do. And if you're an introvert or someone that likes less of the intensity, we'll say the intensity of social intercourse. Is that a good word? I don't know. So social engagement. We'll use the word engagement. But it's our personalities are different, so we can't compare ourselves to anybody else. So you just kind of have to be aware. It's like, why am I feeling this way? When you start feeling anxious, is it what is it that I'm afraid of? It helps to put a name to it, whatever it is. And then how can I do? And sometimes I don't know about you. Do you swim? Are you a swimmer?
I should be. Like I said, I gave up fitness a while ago. Thanks to the pandemic, I've quit fitness.
Some people love to just jump right in. I'm a little at a time, ease into that cold water because
I'm probably more of the shame guy that I remember being able to do it. I remember being able to cycle for a long time, swim for a long time, and manage it. And that's part of what I feel like I'm feeling at the moment. Others might be too. Getting back into life is not like riding a bike. It feels like you should know how to do this.
Yeah, well, riding a bike is one thing, but getting back into life is multiple things, isn't it? Yeah.
And again, we come back to cast your cares on him because he cares for you. So in this particular situation, how do you go about doing that in a practical way, casting your cares on the Lord?
Well, prayer. I mean, I think prayer is certainly one of those things. That's how we cast our cares on to the Lord. But the Bible also mentions in Galatians, it's bear one another's burdens and so fulfill the law of Christ. And it's that law of love and trust. And so being able to talk to it about with someone else and being able to bear the burden together, because we're not in this alone. That's the beautiful thing about this COVID thing. We are all in it together.
Everyone's in the same pond, yeah.
And and that's global. This isn't just something that happened to Australia. It's happened to the whole world, and we're all in the same boat. And so we're all feeling this. So know that you're not alone. I think that's important.
And I would say, at the risk of undermining perhaps how confident people are in internet forums, being places to chat, I think now that we're, more face to face, more of I can see your eyes, I can see your body language, I can sense the rhythm of the conversation. I just encourage people to not try and cast their cares on the internet. I know that sounds a bit of a cheap shot.
But I better text my mom.
Right. But don't cast your cares on the internet, because the internet doesn't care for you.
No.
It's a junk pile. And there are some positive aspects to interconnectedness, and we've discovered a lot of those. But my encouragement to all of us is, I've enjoyed just sitting here having a chat with you today.
It's been good.
And well, you have to say that. But
No, I do it.
but yeah, keep casting your cares on him. Keep taking those baby steps into your re-entry, and keep allowing grace for those around you at the pace they can do it as well.
I like that grace for each other. Because we're not all the same.
Because we'll figure out what year it is eventually.
Yeah, we love you just the way you are.
Come here and give us a hug. God bless.